All right, so this is for Duncan Halleck. And the first thing that I would say is that you've got a good idea of atmospheric perspective, but I think you can push it a little bit more even. I think the composition works well. I think uh, the colors work well. I think everything works fine, but I think it's the atmospheric perspective that you could really push the most. And so what I would do here is you've got a good sense of atmospheric perspective back here and back here and back here. So these are good. Um, so what I would do is I would go in and I would add in some more atmospheric perspective because to me it looks like, and I'm just going to do the note here. It looks like this and this are on the same level. So and then this character here is on the foreground of that, as well as this is even more. So you need to define your colors a little bit more. And so in this case, what I would do is, I'm just going to dump this layer here. What I would do is I would grab, and let's, especially these wires in the background, let's pull some of them out. And I know you don't want, I'm just going to kind of grayscale that out as a sketch. And then we're going to, you've got these birds all over here. And again, I like how you're grabbing some of these birds and pulling them back. So that's a plus, but they all feel at the same level. Whereas if I just slightly take some of these out a little bit more and randomize them a little bit more, I think that that's going to help your flow a little bit more. And so again, this gets really dark really fast. So I'm going to just grab this color here, and we're going to go over the satellite dish, I think it is. So I'm just going to tone some of that out. Now, one of the things that I can do is I'm going to erase here that tonal value. And what that's going to do is push this side back a little bit more. And then what we're going to do is we're going to erase this tonal value here. So you've got the kind of this little bit of information there. And we can always even just pull out some of those because I think these birds are way too dark. And I think that helps out that form of the dish as well as pushes certain things forward and pushes certain things backwards. And don't forget that you have this grass here in the background too that almost should disappear because of the way things are feeding together. And I get you want, I'm just going to grab some of this, and I get you want that sky tone value in there. But we want to dull that down a little bit, especially if you want to push this further into the background. And then here with the darker grays, you might want to, and I'm just going to copy this layer in case it's screwed up. You might want to go in here into your dodge and burn tools, and let's do a little bit more dodging. So we're just going to kind of pop some of the closer colors here a little bit more. And some of these rocks will pop out. And then let's get in some of, and I don't really want to dodge, but I want a brighter color. So let's do a new layer here with, let's try this once. I just want a little bit more, and screen is helping, but I just want a little bit, and it's very subtle what I'm doing here. I just want a little bit more brightness up front to give me the idea. And let's grab this color here and just some of the reflections. And I just want a little bit more contrast up front. And I think that'll help push the background a little bit more. And even something like this, didn't like that color. Let's try and bring some of that out. I don't know if I like that. But you want to push that subtle tones. And what I've done is I haven't done much, and it's very subtle, but it's kind of pushing and pulling out that foreground background elements. Oops, and let's drop this one too. So there. So it went from here to just a little bit more subtle, and it's very subtle. It's not a lot, but I pushed some of the birds back, and I pushed some of the parts of that dish back, and I pushed some of the rocks and stuff back. I would even probably go into let's add in this color here and just kind of push some of these rocks back so they're not so dark and so black. And I think that is really what's going to help you out, is really going to push the overall concept of, foreground, background, middle ground. And so I really hope that helps.